but not brilliant. It was very good.
Okay.
It was on a very high level, but it was not of a stratospheric level.
Okay.
You know what? I think I'm going to give it an 8.
That's funny. Do you know why?
Why?
I'm going to give it an 8 too.
Excellent. Well, we concur. That's twice in 2 weeks.
That's getting a bit scary.
Oh, no, I think we both had the same reaction to it. And when we had the same reaction to a film, we tend to mark fairly similarly.
So that's 8 stars from me and 8 stars from Paul for Welcome to Marwen.
But when it's a really good movie, you tend to give them 6s. You do.
True.
It's true. Go back. Have a listen. You tend to go 6 when I'm going, 9.5, maybe 10, and you're just going 6. Fine.
No, that's not true. I mean, there's been great films where I've given 9. And you've given 9 or 10.
Yes, that's true. Mm-hmm. But not very often.
Anyway, so Paul, your magic movie moment for this week.
Now, it's not a magic movie moment. This week is actually... How can I put this? This week is... I recorded this from something that happened this week.
Which country?
In America, in the House of Congress. It's political.
Well, how is it a magic movie moment?
Well, you know me and I like speeches.
Oh, gosh.
No. I heard somebody who I'm not particularly enamoured with, but he's okay, give an absolutely heartfelt speech, and I thought the speech was stunningly good. And in reference to what it is
we have to call this Paul's magic dialogue speeches.
Look, you'd like to put things in boxes. Just let it go. Just flow. It's fine.
Explain
that is
more.
such the difference between you and me, isn't it?
So extend.
I don't need to label.
Who is it? What is it?
I don't need to judge.
Who? What? Why?
It was John Stewart. And he was supporting a group of firefighters and first responders to September 11 when they went into the buildings and things like that. So he is supporting them because what's been happening of late is like the governments, the Congress and all of that have kind of been shirking their responsibility, and he takes them to task on it in front of the first responders who are en masse standing there behind him, and he is going to government and speaking on their behalf. And I went, how can I not put this up as a fantastic speech? Because I genuinely believe this is an excellent speech, and here we are.
The breathing problem started almost immediately. And they were told they weren't sick, they were crazy. And then, as the illnesses got worse and things became more apparent, well, okay, you're sick, but it's not from the pile. And then, when the science became irrefutable, okay, it's the pile. But this is a New York issue. I don't know if we have the money. And I'm sorry if I sound angry and undiplomatic, but I'm angry. And you should be too, and they're all angry as well. And they have every justification to be that way. There is not a person here, there is not an empty chair on that stage that didn't tweet out, never forget the heroes of 9/11. Never forget their bravery. Never forget what they did, what they gave to this country. Well, here they are. And where are they? And it would be one thing if their callous indifference and rank hypocrisy were benign, but it's not. Your indifference cost these men and women their most valuable commodity, time. It's the one thing they're running out of. This should be flipped. This hearing should be flipped. These men and women should be up on that stage And Congress should be down here answering their questions as to why this is so damn hard and takes so damn long. And why, no matter what they get, something's always pulled back and they got to come back. Mr. Johnson, you made a point earlier, and it was one that we have heard over and over again in these halls, and I couldn't help but to answer to it, which was, you said, look, you guys are obviously heroes, and 9/11 was a big deal, but, we have a lot of stuff here to do. And, we got to make sure there's money for a variety of disasters, hurricanes and tornadoes. But this wasn't a hurricane. And this wasn't a tornado. And by the way, that's your job anyway. We can't fund these programs. You can. Setting aside that no American in this country should face financial ruin because of a health issue. Certainly 9/11 first responders shouldn't have to decide whether to live or to have a place to live. And the idea that you can only give them 5 more years of the VCF because you're not quite sure what's going to happen 5 years from now, well, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen 5 years from now. More of these men and women are going to get sick and they are going to die. And I am awfully tired of hearing that it's a 9/11 New York issue. Al-Qaeda didn't shout death to Tribeca. They attacked America, and these men and women, and their response to it is what brought our country back. It's what gave a reeling nation a solid foundation to stand back upon, to remind us of why this country is great, of why this country is worth fighting for, and you are ignoring them. And you can end it tomorrow. Why this bill isn't unanimous consent and a standalone issue is beyond my comprehension. And I have yet to hear a reasonable explanation for why. It'll get stuck in some transportation bill or some appropriations bill and get sent over to the Senate, where a certain someone from the Senate will use it as a political football to get themselves maybe another new import tax on petroleum, because that's what happened to us in 2015. And we won't allow it to happen again. Thank God for people like John Field. Thank God for people like Ray Pfeiffer. Thank God for all of these people who will not let it happen.
Look at this. That's ribs.
They responded in 5 seconds. They did their jobs with courage, grace, tenacity, humility. 18 years later, do yours. Thank you.
So that was John Stewart talking to the House of Congress.
I'm surprised that didn't go through ages ago. As in,
Well, what are we now? We're 2019. Happened in 2001.
wow. And it's such a big thing for them. I just assumed it would have been something that they were really passionate about.
Politicians.
Oh, God.
But it doesn't matter. It's irrespective of whichever side of politics it's on. You know, that's what I'm saying. And this is what I get cross about. I mean, John Stewart's not really been on my radar sort of thing as a great person or anything like that. But he is now, not as a great person, but he's certainly, like, that was stepping up and taking it to them and speaking directly to them with no bullshit, just straight at them.
If you're not a squeaky wheel, you won't get any grease.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And the reason I put this one was up, and look, this is a singular issue, but this is a problem worldwide in that politics is such, not so much, it's a game, but it's such a mechanized thing now. And it's that they don't take responsibility for anything. They just take.
I think that's a good statement.
Yes. No, I agree with that. That's well picked up on. And then you have somebody like that who just comes in and cuts through the bullshit. I just thought it'd be good for people's souls just to hear somebody, standing up
for the little guy?
That's it. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm always going to be a bit of a communist, aren't I? I can't help myself.
I don't know if you fall in any category, Paul.
No, I don't. Look, I'm a centrist for the most part. I understand both points of view from left and right, and, I think the only way you can do it is take everybody with you. But, ultimately that never works out either. So, there's not much.
Make everybody happy.
You just get slammed in the middle, So, but, you do what you can do. One thing I did want to say about that particular speech, if I may, for a moment, is in ancient Greek times, there was a belief that when you say something that is beautiful, it is because it is based in truth. There is beauty in truth. That's where the adage of truth is beauty, beauty is truth. And that is an excellent example of that, because they are beautiful to listen to, those words. Now, I listened to that about 5 or 6 times when I was putting that together before I made the decision of putting it in, because it's quite political. And, some people might not like that and they might think it's partisan, all the rest of it. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here.
The words he uses, the way he speaks.
That's correct. Yeah. And it's the concern for people that he's putting forward. That's what drove me to put that in. It's always being a humanist. That's what keeps me doing that sort of stuff and going back to that, because it's my big red shiny button.
Yes, we know.
Thank you. All right, so, okay.
The second movie that Paul put up.
This is one of 2 of my favourite films, The Beast of War, and this is just ratcheted. This is kind of put on its own little pedestal because it's a musical movie, in that it's my favourite movie about my ethics in music and how it relates to humanity.
It is called The Red Violin.
Yes. I'm quite predictable when you know.
War and music, boom.
Some people might even call me conservative.
Who's that?
You did.
Did I?
Yes.
The last sale of the evening, the star of the night, the so-called Red Violin. Who will start us off?
Prophecy foretold of a masterpiece
Maestro.
that would be born of tragedy. It foretold of a journey that would call forth a prodigy.
These peoples from the Vales have given us some figures. So what we need now is a
professional opinion. You ever heard of the Red Violin?
Sure, I have stories.
What you're saying is anyway true. People could get a little excited.
Destined to wander across the ages and never to rest.
Victoria, I need you.
Its song of seduction could inspire genius, but also betrayal.
Oh, sluttish muse.
Who is she?
Quiet!
This is the single most perfect acoustic machine I have ever seen.
While some would condemn its beauty, others would risk their lives to preserve it.
Is our little red violin the red violin?
Now, the time has come.
Guess I never thought I'd find it.
When it will reveal itself once more.
Here she is now, Lot 72, the so-called Red Violin.
Its beauty bewitches. Its perfection astounds.
600,000.
Its mystery endures.
700,000. 1,100,000. 1,300,000. 2,400,000. So,
the Red Violin.
I don't think that trailer gave it justice.
Well, it was made in the 90s.
No. I meant what they were saying in the trailer.
I know, but they've tried to... It's one of those films which is not a film designed for the popular masses. It's not.